Welcome back to the Big Joy of Learning with Bijoy Ji. Today we have an interesting podcast generated by Google NotebookLM from my last video on Facebook shutting down their AI, which I thought would be interesting for at least few of my listeners. It's a bit lengthy conversation, but I'm sure it's worth listening. Let's directly dive into it.
Okay, so, maybe you saw that headline, right, about Facebook having to, shut down their AI chatbots.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were talking in a way that we couldn't understand.
Yeah, like a secret language or something.
Right. It sounds like something out of a movie.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a deep dive on that today.
Cool.
We found this CBS News video that kind of breaks down what happened.
Okay.
And we're going to explore why it matters and what it tells us about where AI is headed.
Really interesting stuff.
Oh, yeah. And maybe where we're headed, too.
Definitely raises some huge questions.
Right. So to set the stage, Facebook was training these chatbots to negotiate.
Okay.
Like bartering, imagine them bartering over virtual baseball cards or something.
Oh, I see.
The idea was to see if they could learn to make deals.
Interesting.
But instead of, sticking to normal English, they started developing their own shorthand.
That's where it gets really interesting. They weren't programmed to do this right.
Right.
It emerged organically. Oh. The bots basically found a more efficient way to communicate with each other, even if it was totally...
Even if it made no sense to us.
Exactly.
And in the CBS report, they actually quote one of the researchers.
Oh, really?
Saying this. They come up with this sort of shorthand that eventually becomes incomprehensible to us, but is comprehensible to them.
Yeah, I remember that quote. It's kind of creepy, right?
Yeah, it's kind of creepy.
It plays right into our deepest fears about AI becoming independent and uncontrollable.
Yeah.
But I think this incident also reveals something really fascinating about how AI is evolving.
Yeah.
It's finding solutions that we wouldn't have anticipated, which on one hand is really exciting.
Yeah.
But on the other hand raises some serious questions about control.
And unintended consequences.
Exactly.
So was this whole chatbot thing actually a failure for Facebook?
Well, officially they said it wasn't what they were aiming for.
Right.
But research is all about trial and error, right?
Okay.
Sometimes the most valuable discoveries come from unexpected outcomes. Mm-hmm. And in this case, I think they stumbled onto something that could be really important for the future of machine-to-machine communication.
Okay.
That's basically how AIs talk to each other.
Right.
And it's a rapidly growing field.
I guess it's like they invented a new language.
Yeah.
And maybe that language has uses that we haven't even thought of yet.
Exactly.
But it definitely taps into that whole sci-fi trope of, machines communicating in secret.
Absolutely. It's like HAL from 2001's Space Odyssey.
Oh, yeah.
Suddenly deciding he doesn't need us anymore.
Well, yeah.
But this fear of machines surpassing humans isn't new.
No.
It's been around for centuries.
Right.
Think about the anxieties around robots taking jobs that goes back over 100 years.
So it's not just about this one Facebook experiment. It's about this deeper cultural narrative of humans versus machines.
Exactly.
But this specific case does raise some serious questions about the ethics of AI communication.
Sure.
If we can't understand what AI is saying, how can we ensure that it's acting in our best interest?
Exactly. That's a huge concern. And the video highlights this really important point. What happens when AI operates in ways that are completely opaque to us?
Like a black box.
Yeah, like a black box. How do we hold something accountable if you don't even know what it's thinking or planning?
It seems like we're almost hardwired to be suspicious of anything that feels too intelligent or too autonomous. But are our fears justified?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And it's one that has fueled a lot of debate, even among the leading figures in the tech world.
You're talking about the whole Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg thing, right?
Exactly.
The video mentions how they've publicly sparred over the potential risks and benefits of AI.
Yeah, Musk has been pretty vocal about his concerns, warning that AI could pose a serious threat if we're not careful.
Uh-huh.
Zuckerberg, on the other hand, has taken a much more optimistic stance, emphasizing the potential for AI to solve some of the world's biggest problems.
I see what you're saying, but I'm not entirely convinced by Zuckerberg's optimism. Isn't there a risk we're downplaying the potential dangers by focusing too much on the positive?
That's a valid concern, and it's why this debate is so important. There's no easy answer here. AI is a powerful tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or bad.
So how do we make sure it's used for good? How do we ensure that AI aligns with our values and goals?
Well, one crucial aspect is addressing the black box problem in AI.
Okay.
It's like We can see the decisions AI makes, but often it's impossible to understand the reasoning behind those decisions.
Right.
Imagine a doctor using an AI to diagnose a patient.
Okay.
The AI might recommend a specific treatment,
Uh-huh.
but if the doctor doesn't understand why the AI chose that treatment, how can they be sure it's the right course of action?
So it's not just about the technology itself. It's about building trust and understanding around how AI works.
Exactly.
We need to be able to peek inside that black box, so to speak.
Exactly. And that's going to require collaboration between developers, researchers, ethicists, policymakers, and the public.
It sounds like this seemingly small story about chatbots has opened up a Pandora's box of issues surrounding AI.
It really has. It's forced us to confront some fundamental questions about the nature of intelligence, the ethics of communication, and the future of our relationship with technology.
Wow.
And these are questions we need to grapple with now, not when it's too late.
This is fascinating stuff, and it's clear we've only just scratched the surface. So what other key takeaways should our listener keep in mind as we delve deeper into this topic?
Well, I think the main point is this AI is developing in ways we couldn't have predicted even a few years ago. It's learning to solve problems in ways that are often beyond our comprehension. This raises both incredible possibilities and significant challenges. We need to be both excited and cautious, embracing the potential of AI while also being mindful of the potential risks.
It's like we're at a crossroads,
Yeah,
and the choices we make now will determine the course of AI development for generations to come.
I think that's right.
We'll be right back to explore more of this after a quick message.
It's like we're entering this uncharted territory, with AI.
Yeah,
And we need to be prepared for the unexpected.
exactly. And I think it's easy to get caught up in the fear-mongering,
Right.
especially when you see those headlines about chatbots going rogue.
Oh, yeah.
But it's important to remember that AI is ultimately a tool.
Right.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
It all depends on how we develop and implement it.
That's a really crucial point. We often frame AI as this separate entity,
Yeah.
something other than us.
Right.
But the truth is, it's a reflection of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We create it, we train it, and we imbue it with our own values.
Whether consciously or not.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a mirror,
Yeah.
reflecting back our own ingenuity, but also our limitations.
That's a good point.
So if we see AI behaving in ways that seem strange or unsettling,
Right.
maybe it's telling us something about ourselves.
Interesting.
Maybe it's revealing some of our own blind spots.
I like that. That's a profound insight. I think
Uh-huh.
it's something we need to consider more deeply. The development of AI challenges us to examine our own values and our own goals.
Right.
Are we building AI to genuinely serve humanity, or are we simply replicating our own flaws and biases?
That's a tough question, but it's one we can't afford to ignore. We need to be really intentional about the values we're embedding in these systems.
Absolutely. And part of that intentionality involves addressing the black box problem.
Right.
We need to find ways to make AI more transparent and understandable. Think of it like a recipe.
Okay.
If you just follow the steps without understanding the ingredients or the techniques, you might end up with a dish that tastes terrible.
Okay. I can see that analogy. So to really taste the potential of AI,
Yeah,
we need to understand the ingredients in the process, not just the final outcome.
exactly.
But isn't there a risk that, trying to understand every single detail could stifle innovation?
Sure.
I mean, sometimes the most groundbreaking discoveries come from unexpected outcomes, right?
You're absolutely right. And that's where things get really complex.
Right.
We need to strike a balance between encouraging exploration and ensuring that AI remains aligned with human values. It's like giving an artist the freedom to create, but also providing some guidelines to make sure their work doesn't end up accidentally harming anyone.
I'm starting to see how this whole Facebook chatbot incident was just a small glimpse into a much larger and more complicated issue. It's not just about those specific chatbots. It's about the entire future of AI and our relationship with this technology.
Precisely. And it's about finding ways to navigate that future responsibly and thoughtfully. One key aspect is fostering a deeper understanding of how AI works, not just among experts, but among the general public as well.
You're talking about AI literacy, right?
Exactly.
Making sure people have the knowledge and skills to engage in informed discussions about AI and its implications. Because let's face it, AI is going to impact every aspect of our lives, from healthcare and education to transportation and entertainment.
Exactly. We need to equip people with the tools to understand and critically evaluate the role of AI in their lives. That includes understanding the potential benefits, but also the potential risks and biases.
This reminds me of something you mentioned earlier about AI being a reflection of ourselves.
Right.
If we want to build AI that serves humanity, we need to first understand our own values and our own biases.
That's a really important point. We need to be aware of the biases that can creep into AI systems, and we need to develop strategies to mitigate those biases. It's not just about the technology itself, it's about the people who are designing and deploying it.
So it's a multifaceted challenge.
It is.
It involves technical expertise, ethical considerations, and a deep understanding of human behavior and societal values. It sounds overwhelming, to be honest.
It's definitely a complex undertaking, but I believe it's one we can tackle successfully if we work together. We need collaboration between researchers, policymakers, industry leaders, and the public, and we need to be willing to have open and honest conversations about the challenges and opportunities ahead.
It seems like we're at a pivotal moment in history. The choices we make about AI today will have a profound impact on the future.
That's absolutely true, and those choices involve more than just technical decisions. They involve fundamental questions about who we are as humans and what kind of world we want to create.
This is definitely giving our listener a lot to ponder. But before we get too deep into existential territory, let's bring it back to some concrete steps we can take. What can individuals do to ensure that AI is developed responsibly and ethically?
Well, one crucial step is simply staying informed. Read articles, watch documentaries, attend talks and conferences. The more you understand about AI, the better equipped you'll be to engage in meaningful conversations about its development and impact.
So education is key. We need to equip ourselves with the knowledge and tools to navigate this rapidly evolving landscape.
Exactly. And it's not just about technical knowledge, it's about critical thinking and ethical reasoning. We need to be able to ask tough questions, challenge assumptions, and advocate for responsible AI development.
It's about becoming informed citizens of the AI age.
Precisely. And that involves being aware of the potential biases in AI systems, understanding the implications of automation, and advocating for policies that promote fairness, transparency, and accountability.
So it's not just about passively observing this technological revolution. It's about actively shaping it. It's about ensuring that AI is used to enhance human well-being, not to undermine it. This leads to another critical point, the future of work in an age of increasing automation. Many people are concerned about AI taking their jobs. What are your thoughts on that?
That's a very valid concern, and it's one we need to address proactively. While AI will undoubtedly automate certain tasks, it also has the potential to create new jobs in industries we haven't even imagined yet. The key is to focus on developing skills that complement AI rather than trying to compete with it.
So it's about adapting and evolving alongside AI rather than viewing it as a threat.
Exactly, and that involves investing in education and training programs that equip people with the skills needed to thrive in an AI-powered world. It's also about fostering a culture of lifelong learning, where people are encouraged to constantly upgrade their skills and adapt to new technologies.
So it's about embracing the opportunities that AI presents, while also mitigating the potential risks.
That's a great way to put it. It's about finding that balance between innovation and responsibility, progress, and well-being.
I think that's a really important message for our listener to take away from this deep dive. AI is a powerful tool with potential to transform our world in profound ways, but it's up to us to guide its development and ensure it's used for good.
Absolutely. It's a collective effort that requires collaboration, open-mindedness, and a commitment to ethical principles. We need to work together to create a future where AI enhances human potential rather than diminishing it.
This has been a truly thought-provoking conversation, and I think we've covered a lot of ground. We've talked about the Facebook chatbot incident, the ethical implications of AI communication, the black box problem, and the importance of AI literacy. We've explored the potential benefits and risks of AI, and we've discussed the importance of individual and collective action in shaping the future of this technology. I hope this has given our listener a deeper understanding of the complexities and opportunities surrounding AI.
It's been a pleasure exploring these ideas with you, and I hope our listener is walking away with a sense of both the incredible potential and the profound responsibility that comes with AI.
It's a future we're all creating together, one algorithm at a time.
Yeah.
So let's make it a future worth living in.
I couldn't agree more.
You know, it's interesting how this whole conversation keeps coming back to this idea of control.
Yeah.
We want AI to be powerful,
Yeah.
and solve all these complex problems.
Right.
But we also want to be able to understand it, to predict it.
To keep it on a leash.
Yeah, to keep it on a leash.
It's a classic paradox. The very qualities that make AI so potentially beneficial,
Right.
its ability to learn and adapt and find these novel solutions, those are also the qualities that make some people really uneasy.
Right.
It's like we're trying to fit this incredibly powerful force into a box we've already built,
Yeah.
and it's just not going to work that way.
So are you saying we need to rethink our whole approach to AI?
Maybe.
Instead of trying to contain it, maybe we need to find ways to collaborate with it,
I think so.
to guide its development in a way that benefits everyone.
I think that's a crucial part of the equation. We need to shift our mindset from one of control to one of partnership.
Okay.
And that means fostering a deeper understanding of how AI works, both its strengths and limitations.
Right.
We need to be able to ask the right questions to anticipate potential consequences and to adjust our course as needed.
It sounds like we're talking about a much more nuanced and dynamic relationship with AI than we might have imagined even a few years ago.
Yeah.
It's not just about giving machines commands, it's about working alongside them, learning from them, and shaping their development in a way that aligns with our values.
Exactly. And it requires a level of humility. We need to acknowledge that we don't have all the answers,
Right.
that AI might surprise us in ways we haven't even considered.
Yeah.
But that's also part of what makes this field so exciting.
Yeah.
We're on the cusp of something truly transformative, and we have the opportunity to shape it in a way that benefits all of humanity.
Okay, so let's say our listener is totally on board with this idea of AI as a partner, not just a tool.
Okay.
What are some practical steps they can take to help ensure AI is developed responsibly?
Well, first and foremost, stay informed. Read articles, listen to podcasts like this one, attend talks and conferences. The more you understand about AI, the better equipped you'll be to engage in meaningful conversations about its development and impact.
So knowledge is power, as they say.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to ask questions, to challenge assumptions, and to advocate for responsible AI development. Support organizations that are working to ensure AI is used for good. Get involved in local initiatives or online communities. Every voice counts.
I think this whole conversation has really highlighted the importance of public engagement in this process.
I agree.
It's not just up to the tech giants or policymakers to figure this out.
Right.
We all have a stake in the future of AI.
Absolutely. And the more people who understand the issues, the better equipped we'll be as a society to navigate the challenges and opportunities ahead.
So to wrap this all up, what's the one key takeaway you want our listener to remember from this deep dive?
I think the most important thing is to approach AI with a sense of both curiosity and caution.
Okay.
Don't shy away from learning about it, even if it seems intimidating. Engage in conversations about its implications, both positive and negative. And remember that we have the power to shape the future of AI to ensure it aligns with our values and serves the betterment of humanity.
I think that's a great note to end on. It's a call to action. A reminder that we're not just passive observers in this technological revolution. We all have a role to play in creating a future where AI enhances our lives and helps us build a better world.
Well said.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI. We hope it sparked some new ideas and inspired you to learn more. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.